Greetings, friend. Stacey Mitchell here again from honoryourvoice.com. And this is our part 2 Reiki meditation to reset our timeline. If you haven't done part 1, you can find it in the YouTube uploads list. Hopefully for part 2, I have the audio set a little bit higher. I apologize. The first one was a little low, but it's there and you can follow it. The first part, we did a Reiki healing meditation to center ourselves in our own heart and help clear our own personal timeline and assist in our own personal reset. And the reason, as I talked about in the first video, that we're doing this reset is because if you haven't noticed, some very interesting energetics are at play here on Earth. And I'm sure elsewhere in the cosmos. But my concern as a Reiki master teacher is helping my students and clients exist here on Earth and be a catalyst for change by shining your soul light with clarity and ease. So just very briefly, obviously I talked a lot in the first video. I'll try not to do as much this video, but we'll see. Let's talk a little bit about why the reset. There's two things that are converging at the level of our soul's energetics. And that is, first and foremost, a great many souls that are incarnated on Earth at the present time have in their Akashic record, which is the record of their soul's existence across time and space and dimensional reality. Within that record, many individuals at a soul level are upholding something called an etheric implant. And I've talked at length about etheric implants in other places. Specifically, I can think of one being in the Temple Fire Talks series. You can find that. I'll set a link for that if you're interested. The etheric implant is, for lack of a better word, a program that overwrites our free will, in the sense that we choose it as part of our free will choice. But once we have made that choice, then that etheric implant overrides our sort of cognitive ability and our emotional body ability to set boundaries and make better choices that are more congruent to who we are at soul level. And the way that this works is that we choose to become, in essence, beholden to some sort of organization that overtakes our lives. So, of course, a lot of those etheric implants are created through religious organizations or cults even political organizations, social and military organizations, and any organizational experience that has systemic reach within the society. That doesn't mean that everyone that is involved in any of those organizations has an etheric implant. It simply means that there are individuals who have etheric implants who become involved in these organizations in order to meet a need of their soul or to override a need of their soul. So, I mean, we're getting a little bit in the weeds. It gets a bit complicated, but just understand that etheric implants exist and that there are people who are suffering the consequences of making that original choice, which ultimately becomes something that is against their free will choice. Because again, it overrides that desire or instinct or internal knowing that, hey, you know, this is not a good thing. So, hello, one of the best examples of that could be leading up to the installation of Hitler in what became Nazi Germany, is all of those individuals who sort of just went along with that experience and then ultimately, you know, started participating and covering up and, you know, all of the horrendous things that came out of that Holocaust. Those people, by and large, did not originally set out to become that individual. They set out to try to meet a need that was within themselves for safety, security, a feeling of belonging, etc. And it just kind of kept moving on and moving on and moving on. And then the further it went, the harder it was, or even impossible, for people to make a choice that was against that juggernaut. So we're seeing that again in what's happening really worldwide, but obviously especially in America at the present time, with the ascendance of Donald Trump again becoming a elected leader, and people making the same types of choices, which ultimately will become choices that are against the best nature for themselves and the best nature for humanity and the planet. So that's one really huge thing just on its own. And then the second piece, which is a little harder for some people to kind of wrap their minds around. Several years ago, I began to become aware of this, but I really didn't quite know where it was going, or, you know, what what the point was necessarily. And I wasn't sure if it wasn't what I was seeing wasn't just sort of a benign energetic experience, because just out of the birth of the internet and this World Wide Web is what we call it, right? And just the advances of technology and all of that, which does play a part in it. But from what I'm understanding, just from where I sit as a energetic practitioner, is that there is a specific sort of core group, let's say, that set out to more or less hijack that technological know-how to create something that is an energetic grid. And if you are familiar with light work or energy work or woo-woo sciences or whatever you want to call it, there is an understanding within those circles that there is something called the Christ consciousness grid, which overlays Earth. And that is a grid of protection and connection, and also the pathway by which our souls return to universal source. So we have what is commonly referred to as the Christ consciousness grid, which belongs where it is. And then underneath that, this group has somehow created a false grid, which is sort of like a cobweb, right? Like they've created this underlay of energetic webbing that is trapping people, trapping souls into a false construct of reality that they are creating to do what? I'm not sure, other than to somehow gain control of humanity and disrupt the ability of souls to return to source. The only way that we can try to ensure that we individually don't get caught up in all of that is to connect to source through our higher heart, centering ourselves in our higher heart, connecting to our pineal gland, and through that connection, moving our soul up into the higher self, the higher soul, within that Christ consciousness grid, which is the flower of life. We can't do anything about other people's choices other than make the choice for ourselves. And I'm going to also say that you do not have to be a Christian or in any way connected to Christianity as a religion to connect with and access this Christ consciousness. That's too much of a story to go into for this video, but if you're curious about that, I'm sure you can find many, many things about that specifically just by searching online. However, my guides have been telling me that once we make that choice for ourselves, we can assist others at a higher soul level to break free of those bondages that are created through the etheric implants and through their being stuck in that false construct of reality that is that second webbing. And the easiest way as a Reiki master teacher that I know how to help people with that is to help you access your heart, your higher heart, and through that process, allow you at a soul level to reach out to the other souls in your soul group who may be incarnated and caught in this experience, or not incarnated and able to join with you in lifting up the members of your soul group that are caught in this webbing. So if that sounds like something that you would like to try, what I would like to do is a second meditation. These meditations are mostly silent meditations, and you may or may not consciously experience anything specific happening. It may just be a nice, calm, meditative experience for you, and that's perfectly fine. You don't have to necessarily consciously do anything or try to create anything. Just understand going into the process that the intention is what I just described. So if you're ready, go ahead and get yourself prepared. You can do the meditation sitting or lying down, preferably sitting up so that you don't fall asleep, and have your back as straight as possible for the chair that you're in, and your feet flat on the floor. Do not cross your legs or your arms. You can hold your hands in a mudra position. Whichever one you want, or just have them on your lap, to your sides, whatever is most comfortable for you. You'll probably want to turn the lights off and even maybe put something over your eyes to block the light in the room. You can use headphones, but it's not required. The main thing is just to be in a relaxing environment where you can just go within and go with the experience of the light. Yeah, so for this experience, we're going to go to the river of peace. And within the river of peace, you can swim, you can dive, you can breathe underwater, you can possibly see flashing colors or feel changes in temperature within your body, etc. Just allow whatever happens to happen, and without any specific expectations. If there are specific individuals in your life that, based on the description I gave about the current energies you feel may be experiencing issues, then you can hold them in your heart. Again, not to change them or fix them or make a choice for them, simply to help uphold the positive energies that are within them that maybe they are unable to access, and potentially help them to make a better choice for themselves and the world around them. But again, focus should always be on ourselves rather than someone else. When you're ready, just take a nice cleansing breath in through your nose and gently release through the mouth. Just give yourself a few moments to settle into your sit bones, relaxing your body as much as possible. Continue to focus on the breath, allowing it to be gentle and nurturing. Close your eyes. And just drift down into your heart space as you breathe. And in your mind's eye, imagine it's a beautiful sunny day. Imagine you are barefoot walking through a beautiful forest. As you breathe into yourself, imagine you are breathing in the life essence of the forest. And with each step that you take, imagine Earth's energies are flowing up through the bottoms of your feet. As you walk along, allow yourself to experience the living things in the forest, including the trees, plants, flowers, and grass, and to merge with the forest's harmony and peace. As you continue to walk along, you notice it is getting lighter up ahead, and you realize you are coming to the edge of the forest. As you leave the forest, before you is a beautiful river. It is the river of peace. Beautiful flowers are growing along the riverbank. And there's a path following alongside the river. Follow the path alongside the river. As you walk along the path, you feel the beautiful energy of the sacred water and feel yourself becoming one with all living things. Eventually, you come to a place where you can easily enter the water. As you walk into the river, it begins swirling around your feet. You pause here and realize this river contains an unusual feeling of calmness. You drink from the river of peace and feel soothing, peaceful feelings flow through you. You realize it is very safe here, and you feel completely at ease. You enter the water completely. Feel it flowing all around you. The light from the highest heaven is shining on you as you swim and float and dive into the river's depths. As you swim underwater, you realize you can breathe the water. As you do so, the powerful, peaceful feelings of the river of peace flow through your entire being. The river of peace is guiding you now. Allow yourself to be guided by the river of peace. You may continue with this experience as long as you feel it's necessary. Understand that these energies will continue to work with you in the hours and days and weeks ahead. This energy will continue to puncture through and pull down the energetic construct of the false reality, allowing all souls to reach the Christ consciousness grid and connect to unity and love. And when you're ready, you can just become aware of your physical body, slowly becoming aware of your surroundings. And ultimately, opening your eyes, coming back into the present moment, awake, alert, and refreshed, with your eyes wide open.